Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel.
Pit lane
Got
speed
my
limit is
rookie
35 miles per hour.
MX-5 race
Your exit's
for
clear.
week
Don't
3
cross the white
here
line.
at Lime
Okay,
Rock
Jake,
Park
we've
on
got
the
2
Grand Prix
laps.
layout.
Let's get this
Gonna
done.
go out for qualifying now, which is basically, from what I could see going in, is gonna be a best of the rest for me. Current pole setter is at a 101.06, I think. And as you can see from my absolute best lap, I have never even come close to turning that, let alone I'm barely under that in the all-time optimal. So just gonna try to do the best I can to put in a time. Hopefully it'll get me closer to the front, so I won't have quite as much ground to make up to have a better finish, as well as hopefully try to keep me ahead of some of the mayhem that could happen. I think I either want to start way towards the front or be way in the back to avoid all of it, but gonna come out of turn 9 right now to start the first lap. Got a little too much of the curb, kind of kicked the car sideways across the corner. Hopefully I can clean that up for my 2 laps, but gonna try to do the best that I can. Just get whatever I can. First lap while I warm up the tires still is probably going to be a little more conservative, just also to make sure that I get a lap time in that's somewhat decent, but just going to do the best that I can to put together something. Still always learning the layout and the course. Got out of the throttle a little too early there, needed to take that corner a little bit wider. That was the section I know how to hit better and just messed up there. I was trying to remember as much as I could from when I ran this in the Spec Racer 4 and try to glean what I could from it. That chicane section is one that is just beating me up constantly. I'm really slow through there, and I know if I could figure out how to get through that one quicker, then that would significantly help my lap times. So should at least be able to get a clean lap in for lap 1, have it count, and hopefully can get a decent run down the front stretch, try to clean up the turn 2 through 4 section, and see if I can go any faster.
You're now 1.0.
And I don't, because I overshot turn 1, so
102.04.
pretty far back. Yeah, it was not a very good lap, so on me, gonna jump out and the qualifying session so that we can try to get going a little bit faster. You can see I was pretty big gap between the 1 and the 5. Realistically, had I not screwed up, probably would be somewhere on the pace with the 1. Pretty far back overall. About a second off, but probably could have chopped off at least half a second, if not slightly more than that. So big key is going to be for me getting through the chicane as well as through turn 8 and turn 9 with as much momentum as I can. Not sure if anybody else is going to be setting times. 2 is not in yet. 3 and 4 look like they're opting to start in the back. 12 could still technically set a time. But with a minute to go, they would have to have already been out and started their lap, because I've never seen anybody go below 1 flat, 1.0 flat, which, I mean, I personally haven't even witnessed that. I've just seen that when I looked at the world records and paces. So gonna try to just kind of, if I'm starting right in the middle, just try to have as easy of a start as I can. Big things I want to focus on that apply to, racing and, all my forms of racing, whether it's paved oval, whether it's, road course, dirt oval, whatever. But especially this, with how my last Spec Racer Ford race went, I want to take it a little bit easier off the start, give some bigger gaps while I kind of learn where guys are braking at, how hard they're pushing it through corners. That'll help me avoid getting into the back of them going into corners, as well as I may even be able to learn something out of what they're doing. And of course, with these, lower classes, especially the rookies,
P6.
there can always be the potential for a lot of wrecks. So just being able to have some space and avoid those will be worth quite a bit. So again, I'm car number 9 out of 12, so a decent finish could gain me some iRating, hopefully. Just gonna try to have the best shot at it I can. Again, keeping it clean. Would love to see if I can get through this with a 0x. That would make me thrilled to death to finally put it. I don't think I've had a road race that was a 0x so far this season. Finally be able to put one in there would be pretty good. And honestly, if I can do that and I end up getting beat, then I know it was just flat on pace and people outdrove me and I know what I need to work on. I hate when I have the pace to run further up and then just overdrive it or do stupid stuff and end up off the track spitting out wrecks, whatever, having to tow. I also hate when I didn't have the pace and I didn't look ahead and get through wrecks. So if I can keep it clean, drive within my limits, and avoid any wrecks, any situations, even if that means backing out and giving up a spot or two, then I'll come away happy with the race regardless of what the result is. But obviously, I always want to try to get you guys a better result as well. That always makes me happier when I can show you guys something decent. So, gonna get ready for the start.
Go, go, go.
Not the worst start. Just gonna hang to the outside right now. 6 is kind of slow off the start, but just gonna hang to the outside right now. Kind of got a gap to the inside. Gonna see if I can just sort myself out here. 6 kind of hung out wide. I think he was expecting me to go on the inside, which obviously I didn't, but I can completely understand if you're trying to be careful, sort of like what I was doing. So got the 8 off track. He seems to be a bit slower, pushes the 6 way wide. Gonna try to take advantage of that, see if I can get by the 6. Just fall in line behind the 8. Try to get through the chicane section as well as I can. 6 looks like he might have been able to outbrake me. That's why I had to go left to avoid me. Thank you to him for being patient and kind. Looks like we are all off and clean. I was able to pick up 1 spot off the start, so into 5th. Just going to see now how it sorts out in terms of contact up front, as well as how the pace sorts out. I push myself way wide. I've done this before. Just trying to keep the car going, able to save it. Gonna give up a lot of time, gonna fall way back. Just gonna hold myself in the middle of the track right now, let everybody go. So much for that 0x race, as well as being in 5th. I just, again, do stupid stuff. Pushed it way wide. We've got 1 car off the track. 8 looks like he might have been involved in that. Not sure if he made contact or anything else. He's gonna run pretty hard on the right side. So I'm just going to have to hang wide for him. I push it almost too wide and somehow get the 11 into me. I'm not really sure what happened there. Get into the 8 a little bit there. Kind of same deal. I just broke a little too late. Yeah, no idea what happened with, I think it might have been the 11. Not really sure what happened there, if I came back to the right on him, or if he just drove into me and we got assigned the blame. But gonna try to rebound. 5x is not the end of the world, but gonna try to see what I can get out of it. Got myself back to 6th with those incidents through 1 and 2, and then being able to get by the 8. So back to where I started. Would love to finish top 5 if I can catch up to these guys, but not sure if I'll have the pace to do that with the gap, as well as if anybody else behind will be faster than me. So just going to set up, try to drive as clean as I can, see if I can pull away from the 11, and try to start clicking off some clean laps, try to offset that 5x that I have so far. Again, the chicane's the worst spot. I've got the 3, it looks like. 7, excuse me, that missed it, had to go way left. So that opens up 1 car that I'm at least a little bit closer to in terms of a shot at the top 5. Just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, frustrating start. I have to review and see if that one incident was actually on me for the car contact, or if that was just nothing I could do. Tried to stay as far left as I could to give him the room, and I feel like he kind of came back, but again, not sure without, going back to see it. Just gonna keep trying to push, try to drive clean. Looks like the 11's pulling away from the 12 a little bit. Might be holding even with the 11. Again, getting through the chicane is gonna be a big key for me. And then, of course, 8 and 9 here are incredibly important because they're high-speed corners, so you got to set the momentum up to be able to have any speed down the front stretch. Which I kind of torched 8 there. 9 should feel a little bit better. Try to make up some of the time that I lost there in turn 8.
101.47. That's a new fastest lap for Parker. 101.41. The guy ahead has just done a 101.38.
Happy that I was able to run my all-time fastest lap here. And I know I've got more pace in it because of some of the corners that I messed up, and I feel like honestly I didn't even get through the chicane as well as I could have, so potential that I could try to get to that 1 minute mark.
You're a 10th off in sector
I'd be
1.
really happy with that if I could, but big thing is to watch this group of cars up here, see if anything unfolds, see if I can gain any time on them, because that's 3 spots right there. Could get me all the way to 3rd. Just gonna have to watch and see if there's contact between the 3 and 6. 7's gonna try to join in on that, as well as you know, trying to pick a spot if I am able to gain on to pass. Get a little bit too much of the curb there. There's contact. 3 and 6 go around. I was able to avoid them. Looks like the 11 might have gotten tangled up in that, so big wreck on the front stretch coming out of turn 9.
P4.
Was lucky enough to avoid that. 7 got through it as well. It's just going to reset. I feel like I had the pace that I was catching the 7, so just got to reset, drive my race within my limits, and I should at least have a shot at trying to get by the 7 for 3rd. 2nd is 5.6 seconds ahead. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make that up. I mean, we still have 16 laps to go next time at the line, but that's, or excuse me, 14 laps at the line. That's a pretty big gap to make up in that amount of time, and that's assuming that I don't mess up any corners along the way, which is probably high likelihood that I'm going to end up doing that. So just going to set my goal on the set my sights on the 7 right now, and see if I can close in on them, see if I can follow them here on the front stretch, try to get a good draft, at least tighten the gap up somewhat going into turn 1. Gotta make sure I don't overshoot turn 1 at all. I know hanging way to the left here out of that corner gives you a better entry into that corner, which allows you to carry momentum down this section. So I think I'm slowly getting better at recognizing lines to a degree. It's just a matter of, you know, the car control, and then some of the lines I'm still not always fully aware of what's best. So got to tighten it up through the chicane there. Got too much of the turtles that kind of upset the car. Definitely closing in on the 7, so gives me hope that, you know, with clean driving should have a shot at a top 3, possibly. Just going to do the same thing again, just try to stay behind the 7, try to get as much of a draft as I can down the front stretch and close up the gap. Make sure I don't overshoot turn 1. Try to get on the throttle a little bit earlier than the 7. Set myself up through this section here. Don't know if there's anybody that's able to run that wide open. I've yet to figure out how to do that if it's possible. So been trying to get to the point where I can just breathe the throttle. Feel like I got through the chicane much better. You can see I actually visually picked up some time on the 7, closed up to him.
Okay, Jake, stay close.
Just gonna try to hit these two corners as well as I can, and see if I can try to get a run on the inside of the 7 down the front stretch. He's got to get a little bit closer. He's gonna try to break the draft. Could be dumb, set myself up to the outside, but gonna try to see if I can try to cross him over at some point. Oh, I freaked out, wanted to back out and downshifted a little more than I did, broke a little bit more than I wanted to just to avoid getting into him. Didn't think he was going to shut the door quite that quick. That was probably not the best section to be looking for a pass though, so Just gonna reset, try to get through the chicane a little bit better. See if I close back up on him. Definitely feel like I've got the pace. It's just a matter of finding the right passing zone and seeing if he makes a mistake anywhere that I can take advantage of. Holding about consistent with the 10 in second, so not sure if a second place is going to be possible, but
That was at 101.
I'm going to try to outbrake the 7 here into turn 1. Try not to overdrive the corner so I can just pull away and not worry about him crossing over. That was probably going to be one of my better opportunities to get by him cleanly. I think I should have the pace to hopefully build a pole away from him.
P3.
I know I was definitely, if I can hit the chicane the way that I had been before, I can make up some time there. Is he able to open up a gap there? Got a good gap back between the 7 and the 12 for fifth.
Just keep it
so
smooth. No mistakes.
Even if the 7 is able to get back by me, got a good gap behind him, but I feel like I should have a pretty good run to stay out in front of him. So check the gap to the 10 at the line. Looks like it's about 5.4. So that's quite a bit to make up in 10 laps, but I will certainly try my best, because with it being rookies and lap traffic being involved, anything can happen. Somebody could easily be involved in a wreck. Could easily be like me, drive it off of the course on their own. That's something that I am always capable of doing, so never want to give up, just always want to keep pushing, try to do the best that I can and give myself a shot to at least try to move up. Didn't get through the chicane as well that time, but still able to pull away from the 7. Just got to get a better run here through 8 and 9 to try to avoid the possibility of the draft. I think as long as you're within about a half second to 0.6 of a second, you've always got the potential to be able to pull the draft on somebody. Looks like I picked up almost half a second on the 10, so I guess as a very, very, very outside shot, if I continue to run quicker laps, that it's possible to get to him. Just really got to focus on my own line, not overdriving the car, not worry about what the 7's doing unless he's going to try to dive bomb or something like that. It's my only way that I'll have a shot to try to make up time on the 10. 7's definitely picked up the pace a lot more than I thought. He's doing a pretty good job holding it. Just trying to have a better section there through the chicane. Feel like I did a little bit better. 12's definitely closed the gap down as well. I think it's about 1.6 and it was like 1.8, 1.9 before, so could end up being a decent finish. Looks like I didn't really gain any time on the 10 that lap, maybe a tenth or two, but nothing like the lap before, so I would suspect that maybe he missed a corner or had an issue there.
1.67. You're 2/10 off the pace in sector 2.
This could shape up to be a good battle for 3rd and 4th. Could end up being like the previous rookie race I ran when I had the battle for the lead, except for this time we're just a couple spots back, but it's definitely going to force me to drive my best, not think about what the 7's doing, although I get a big break there with him catching the turtle. You could see him launch himself up in the air, so that's the peril of catching that too hard for sure. So that gives me a little bit of a breather. Should also keep him far enough back that he can't really catch too much of a draft off of me down the front stretch. Looks like I'm holding about pace with the 10, so not sure if I'll be able to get there again.
Okay, Jake. Your lap times are pretty consistent.
If I can keep myself in 3rd, I will be very happy with that. Only thing I can hope for is that the 12 can try to close up the gap on the 7 and see if that'll start some side-by-side racing, which could potentially allow me to pull a little bit further away from the 7.
a tenth off the pace in sector 1.
I got on the throttle a little too much that time. Got myself loose catching the second turtle. That's going to kill my momentum down this section. It's going to allow the 7 to close up a little bit. I think he might have had a bit of a problem because I would have suspected him to be a lot closer. It was also the mistake I did not need to have if I wanted to have a shot at the 10. So it looked like he might have had a mistake that lap as well, but because of mine I was not really able to capitalize. Only picked up about 2 tenths, maybe 3 tenths that lap.
You need to find a tenth in sector 3.
Twelves also closed up the gap, so we could have a 3-car battle for 3rd through 5th here brewing.
Don't be intimidated. Keep him behind you.
Which I would say maybe I'm probably 2nd fastest out of that group if the 12's been closing up as much as they have. Obviously I just have to make cleaner moves through here. Caught a little bit too much of the curb. Able to just keep it consistent though. Got my car across the line this time to start lap 16. I'll have 5 to go. We'll be 3/4 of the way done with the race. Hoping I can try to catch up to this slower car, use them as a draft to try to pull away from the 7 at all and try to close up. Looks like I got about half a second that time on the 10, so it's going to be really close. I would say I need to pick up, about a second a lap, which I doubt that's going to happen without the 10 having some problems, and I almost put it off the track, so probably better for me to just focus on hitting as clean a lines as I can and know that I can have a good shot at finishing 3rd rather than, going all or nothing for a 2nd place finish. Got a little too much of the turtle there through the 2nd section of the chicane. Also didn't quite upshift the 2nd as fast as I wanted to, but overall not too bad. Pushed it a little wide there through 8. See where the lap car goes here on the front stretch. He's going to go way left. Thank you to him. Instead of trying to draft him, I'm just going to try to take pass, get by him so I can have a clean entry into 1. He hits the brakes early. Thank you to him for being incredibly respectful. It's nice to see. I feel like lately, both in oval and road, a lot of lap cars have been pretty rough to run around. So thank you for him. I appreciate that courtesy. I clipped a little too much of the curb there. Got the car loose. Looks like the 7 might have pulled away a little bit from the 12, so not quite as much pressure there. Clipped a little too much of the curb there through the last corner of the chicane. Looks like the 6 might have had an issue as well. You can see him kind of get shot sideways a little bit there, so that opens up the gap a little bit for me. Definitely, I think I'm closing in on the 10. Unfortunately, I just think at 3 laps I'm not going to be able to make up enough time. The race was another 10 laps or so. It's possible that I could try to make up a little bit more.
Sector 3 is a tenth off the pace.
But again, gonna do absolute best I can. Gotta make sure I don't catch too much of the curb there. Got on the throttle a little too early. Needed to lift just a little bit more. I kind of killed the momentum, but still a decent gap to the 7 now. Looks like 7 and 12 are about equal spacing apart. Clipped too much of the curb there. Got myself really loose. Thankfully, it looks like the 7 had an issue. Wasn't able to take advantage of that. 10 pulls away a little bit. Gonna come across the line to have 2 to go. If I can keep it clean, I feel like this is one of my better road races so far this season. Probably not the best I could have run. Obviously, would have loved to avoid that off track as well as, look at the contacts with, I believe it was the 14 or the 11. But, overall, I feel like I did a pretty good job of rebounding. really, for the most part, trying to drive within my means and just run consistent laps. As I say that, I almost pushed it wide. So, gotta quit talking about how well I feel like I've run and know that I've still got a lap and a half left to finish, so... Clipped a little too much of the turtle there. First one, kind of drove it a little conservatively. I think that's why the 7 was able to close up there. But I feel like I got enough of a gap right now that if I can just maintain what I'm doing, you know, I can't really give up too much time, but if I can maintain it, then should have a decent shot at holding on to it. As I say that, though, I drive way too far to the inside. It's going to allow the 7 to have a good run down the front stretch. You can see the draft. He's closing in, so it's going to be all about me not making a mistake to be able to bring it home in third. Guessing 7's going to go all out in some corner and send it. Just hope that I'm not a victim of that wherever it happens. There it is. There was the contact. I was able to hang on to it. Unfortunately, I get assigned for that, which I don't think that was really my fault, but is what it is, so we'll take a look at that too and see if I really got in front of him, but I feel like that 4X was not my fault, so unfortunately can't have a good race in terms of instant points, but not much I could control there. I think he was determined to take a shot at it and was ready to send it. All of a sudden, I just lost my pedals somehow. Oh, that sucks. Looks like it's going to be a 5th place finish, so still not bad. I don't know what happened there. Just pedals all of a sudden just went out. It's like I just lost connection, so at least able to save it and bring it in 5th. Sucks. Wish I could have brought you guys that 3rd place finish. Was in line for it, especially after staving off the 7 with that contact. But yeah, that kind of sucks. So start at the beginning. See what happened here. We're gonna watch it from the back. Let's see exactly what happened. This is where I was able to get by the 6, fall through behind the 8. That was when I drove it way wide, was able to save it. That was that off track. Got myself going again. Okay, so here's what we're going to look at. I'm way wide in the curb. And 4's just... I don't know. I got a feeling that's going to get assigned. That got assigned to me because I kind of came back. But when the 4's just sending it like that, and I can't see him coming, really, once he's side by side like that, I tried to straighten out as much as I could, and I don't know, maybe a bit of netcode, but that's, you know, right there. I think that's definitely some contact. Take a look at it from the 4's perspective. I'm guessing he kind of sent that one. I mean, like, when we're running side by side like that, if you think I'm going to brake and just completely back out, that's probably the wrong idea to have. So, I mean, should I have seen that coming and probably just let him go? Probably, but I feel like that was a bit aggressive by the 4 overall, and then it causes him to spin out, so, I don't know. I take probably 30% of the blame in that one, but I think really he should have seen me coming back on the track. It's not like I made an egregious move all the way back across the track or anything, so I feel like that's a little more on him than it is on me. But you can let me know from you know, my perspective and whatnot if you agree with that. So take a look at the last lap here. Fast forward to this section with a 7. So you can see the 7's driving in hard. This is where it's going to happen. I don't know. I find that, like, maybe iRacing's going to claim I broke early, which is why they get it to me. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can honestly say I broke earlier than the 7 did. However, the 7 just sent it in. I mean, I can understand that because I definitely, you know, made the mistake there. I don't know. That was... That's another one where I can kind of understand that I broke early, but I don't really know how much that's my fault. I still feel like that's more on the 7 than anything, but that could also just be one of those racing deals. So, unfortunate that I had the pedal issue. So we'll take a look at the results. Hopefully, safety rating's not going to take too big of a ding. It'll definitely get hurt with the 10x. You can see that was the 10th split out of 41 in total. So 1408 strength of field, fairly weak. Again, stronger than me though. So you can see I actually had the fastest lap and might have had the pace to be contending with the 10 and the 5 had I not had the issues early on. Not lost it off of turn 9 like I did. Could have been a different race. Obviously, the pedal issue there didn't help things either, but yeah, I don't know. So only lost zero point zero 0.02 on the safety rating. Pretty happy with that. Gained 25, so at 1421, just over 1400. Would love to try to get to a goal of 2K by the end of the season if I can. But just gonna continue to learn. Obviously, want to get the incident count down, but I felt like overall, 8x out of that really wasn't my fault. And then I had the two off tracks that were definitely on me. So feel like it's a little bit of progress, getting a little bit better. Feel like I did a better job of recognizing certain situations to keep myself out of. Just got to do a little bit better of minimizing those mistakes, but still being able to pick up the pace. So slow work in progress. Feel like it's getting a little bit better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, sorry for the hardware issues at the end that kept me from finishing third, but at least it didn't cost me too much overall. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Feel free to leave your feedback on either the incidents between the one with the 4 or the one with the 7. Let me know what you guys think. Love to just hear from you guys in general. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that. And stay tuned for more races. Remember to like and subscribe. And until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.